Okay, so as we're moving on in this, we're going to start looking at these different archetypes that we've been kind of somewhat talking about earlier on in the videos. The one we're going to start with right now is you are a disciple. And what we're going to do is dig into this to understand how does that then help me bring a higher level of potential out of myself, not for myself, but rather for the world, the area of operations in which I walk. Okay. So in 2011, a book came out called Start With Why, and it was written by a guy by the name of Simon Sinek. It's an amazing, amazing book. And what he argues in that book is that companies that understand their why, understand why they exist, actually seem to do better in the long run. And they last longer, they do more things, they help people, and they give products to those individuals. So what he talks about, he says that they clearly know their why, the mission or purpose the organization exists to fulfill and ensure that this why is the foundation for everything that they do. And here's a quote from Simon Sinek. He says, "The ones that achieve more, the ones that get more out of fewer people and fewer resources, the ones with an outside amount of influence, build products and companies, and even recruit people that all fit based on the original intention." Okay, so that's great. That's good to think about, right, for a company. But the question is how does that fit into me as an individual? Well, what Sinek actually argues is that we are people, human beings, are purpose-driven. We want to have a purpose. We're looking for a purpose for in our lives, and to be able then to take that purpose and do something with it. And this is really what he's talking about with companies. So when we look at this idea, that means that I can kind of stop thinking about the company and rather think about what he's already talking about, or what he has talked about, and how do I plug that into my life as an individual. Now, one of the things that I said just a minute ago is that deep truth about us as people, as humans, is we are designed to be purpose driven. That's just the way that we are. Now, of course, I believe that Jesus created us. So then that means that this idea of purpose was already given to us, that we want to be purpose-driven people. And then the argument would be that if I don't have my life lined up with Jesus as the center of that, then I'm really going to struggle to find the actual reason why I've been given life. So with that said, we are naturally oriented to look for and or create purpose in our lives. We are anchored to a clear, noble, and meaningful purpose that energizes, inspires, and guides us towards productive action and success. And this is what I'm talking about. Our faith is not for us, not completely. Our faith is for the world, right? So if I understand the purpose, that means I need to understand God's purpose and understand He gave me life for the same purpose. And that means that I need to change the culture around me. I need to go into my area of operations and change the culture to what? To make it look more like heaven, just like Jesus did. All right? Okay. So what am I getting at? The issue is that so many, especially now with social media and, TV and all those different things that we have available to us, we have a tendency to look for purpose in the wrong places. So especially, or one of the ways that we do this is that we look for purpose in commercials, billboards, phones, TVs. We're looking for integrity. We're looking for things that help us dictate and teach us what our morals and integrity are. But the reality is that when we do that and we leave Jesus out of it, the only real, true, authentic man to ever live, then we're going to continue to struggle and we're going to not really understand what life is actually all about. And so this then ends up, let's just call it what it is. We as human beings live in a culture that celebrates and focuses on the superficial. We do, guys. That's why we elevate other humans, movie stars and all these individuals, and think, well, I'm just going to follow them and I'm going to be like them so that I can somehow find meaning. And that's just a superficial way of looking things. We have to get deeper into it. We got to look to see what is the only authentic man that's ever lived. How did he live his life? That's how I become the man that I was supposed to be. So I need to understand his why, okay? So instead of leading to deep wholeness and mastery of body, soul, and spirit, and meaningful contribution to the world, pursuing these purposes has only fueled more discontentment, anxiety, restlessness, and, as Ecclesiastes 1:14 says, a chasing after the wind. Do you guys feel like that? I know I do. And that's why I think it's so important that we put Jesus first. Okay. See, guys, here's the issue. We men and women, but I'm talking to the men right now, we've lost our way. We have lost our why. And when you lose your why, it takes your passion for life completely away. So what we have to do is we got to find our why, or nothing is going to change.